All right, welcome to Live from the Hot Wheels room. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I hope you like this video. What we're going to do today is a Grail on a budget video. Last video I talked about looking for some Grails, put together a set on $150 or less budget per car, and managed to knock some of that out pretty decent. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm hanging out here in the Hot Wheels room. It's raining and nasty outside. I've got my nice warm cup of blueberry tea, and almost all of the mail calls have shown up for the cars that I've been looking for. There's still a few stragglers. One of them's been less than 3 hours from me for over a week now, so the mail is failing me. But that being said, we do have a lot of cars here, and we're going to look at some of the regular variations, and then we'll look at the super rare variations. So let's get started with some of the lesser expensive cars that I thought were really cool, that are a little bit harder to find, but not necessarily maybe a Grail. So, Speed Machines. Kind of a cool variation. You would be normally looking at a black or a red or a brown, but this one here is a little bit harder to find. Hopefully you can see that nicely. It's kind of a burgundy color, bright yellow base. You can find one of these for about 40 bucks. I think I picked this one up with the chips and the scratches on it for about 35. By the time I got shipping, it was about $40. Next up, look at the Poison Pinto, which is, this is the basic. This is what your basic Poison Pinto looked like. You could get it in red lines or black walls. Also, we have a couple variations here of the Super Chrome Poison Pinto, and these ones have red line. So this one's actually got cleaner side tampos, but the roof's a little uglier on it. This one here's got a much shinier roof. So we'll look at those, and then here is the harder to find variation. Also a black wall variation. Pick this one up for $65. Like the hair on there. So plastic base, black plastic base, gray engine. Very cool. I was happy to add that to the collection. So those are the less expensive, not necessarily Grails, but a little bit harder to find cars that I was super excited for. Next one, we have the Bywayman Jeffrey Toys R Us truck. This one here is a little harder to find. Not nearly as expensive as the Super Van, but still a hard truck to find and fairly expensive when you do find it. This one here, though, in this shape, I believe I paid 50 bucks for, which was a pretty good deal. I know it's pretty rough. I did see one that was a lot more mint condition than this guy, but it was like 180, which was out of the budget for the poor man's Grail set. So that'll be the first car of the poor man's Grail set. Second car, here's the regular variation. the heavy Chevy. And we do have, there's two variations of it in super chrome. One with this tampo on the side and one with a green, kind of a green tampo. The rare variation is the green. And I found several of these online on eBay, and they were asking, not selling, but asking. One of them was mint condition, which was like $3,500. There was another one that was super clean that I seen for $2,600, I think, or $2,500. And then there was one for $700, which was pretty much, the tampos were gone, but the green paint was super clean. This one here, for what it is and the condition that it's in, I paid $100 for it. Ended up being like 125, something like that, with shipping. So great deal. Super excited to add that one. So that's our number 2 Poor Man's Grail, and we'll look at all of them at the end here as well. Next up we have Caribou. This is your regular variation. Came in green, metal base, and this is got the opening doors, which a lot of times are busted. These doors have never really been opened, so they're very tight, so I don't want to pry on them too hard, but you can see the doors open up kind of Lamborghini style. So this is your regular variation of this car. And the harder to find, more rare variation is the yellow. This one's got a little bit of tampo wear. You can tell what it was, but they're not really there. But I do see that they do make reproduction tampos of these that are water slides. I just can't bring myself to put it on it. I would rather have it in this condition, played with, missing its tampo, because you can still tell what it was. It's still a super rare, hard to find car, and this one was well played with. It's well loved. Looking at the base, it looks like somebody did clean the base of it at one point, because you can, it's very smooth. Like if you look at that one, you can see kind of the pit marks and, you know, the natural casting. This one here looks like it's had a buffer wheel applied to it at some point. So I'm assuming that the base must have been kind of rough or corroded maybe. But that being said, the wheels are in good condition. It rolls nice. And it's a super hard variation to find. Next up, we are going to look at the Mongoose. So here's a Mongoose in just dark blue. Here we have one in what people call ice blue, but this is actually just, if you look at the inside, they're pretty much the same on the inside. So this is just a lighter coat, I think, of the dark blue, and then with a little bit of fading on the outside, it gives it that ice blue look, which is actually a really cool looking car. However, you might as well keep one of these right here. The Mongoose, you look at the front end and you can tell that it was the Duster. Well, this is the one right here that is the Grail. This is the 6969 version variation of the Mongoose, or Mongoose 2, and it's the snake body, which was that'd be the first snake. So this would be the Snake 2 body, which was actually white. So you had a Mongoose and a snake that were 6969 version, and it's actually stamped in the bottom of the front of the car. It says 6969, and then underneath on the front end right here, it says Snake. Super hard, rare car to find. This one is missing the driver's side door decal. And I do have a Mongoose 2 decal that's original, but of course it's for the passenger door, and that is the only one I have. So I'll have to see if I can find some more original decals for this one to put it back together. Next up, a really rare little truck. This is the Mountain Mining King Cab, Road King truck. And this is a reproduction trailer. And you can tell the back wheels aren't quite right. They're not quite Hot Wheel wheels. And then the base of the reproduction trailer doesn't have anything cast on it. So we have that version. The truck is original. And then we have an original. And this one's got, the truck is super clean. The one back wheel is missing chrome, but the paint is really clean. And then the trailer has the Mattel stamp at the front, and it says 1973 Mattel Inc. Hong Kong. And yeah, picked this guy up for $145 for this. So it came out to be a little more with shipping than $150, but not much. And this truck, I believe I bought back in the day for $49. It had the black piece on the bottom that actually hooked to the Mountain Mining truck set. So I'll probably pop that off and put it on this other one and have a complete truck set. And this truck with its little reproduction half a trailer is going to be going back on eBay for probably around 50 bucks. And I've seen a few of them selling, like people are listing the Mountain Mining truck because the truck's fairly easy to get a hold of. It's the trailer that's hard to find. And I've noticed the trailers, the reproduction trailers, they're asking quite a bit for them now. I think they used to be about 20 bucks, and now they're like a truck with reproduction trailers going for 150 to 200 bucks, which is crazy because it's not even an original trailer. So really what you're getting is the truck. So if you could find the trailer separately by itself, pick it up. I watch for them all the time. I was bidding on one the other day. I was up to $120 on just the trailer, but it got away. So I should have been paying closer attention. All right, next up we have the Olds 442. We're going to be talking about the Olds 442 Army staff car. But here's the fire chief, and it's got this top on it, which would be different than, like, here's the other chief car that has the light on it. Well, the Army staff car was like the taxi, and the other had the taxi top on it, like the other fire chief does. So this is the Army Olds 442 staff car from the 6-pack. Super cool car, hard to find. 6-pack, 5-pack, one of those two. And I see these selling, this one's the red line. I see these selling red line or black wall, both holding about the same value. It doesn't matter if you get the red line or the black wall, they're both equally rare, both desirable. The only difference that you're gonna see is the price is gonna go up based on the quality of the paint and how much of the tampos are left. So I picked this one up for 120 bucks in this condition, and this is one that I've had for quite a while. But in this condition right now, they're selling on eBay for about 300, 250 to 300. And I've seen ones with way worse paint and much less tampos selling for about 100 bucks. So you can still pick one of these up to add to your collection. as a placeholder if you can't afford to purchase one of the higher end, cleaner models. And the nice thing about that car is it's always going to be desirable. So eventually, when you are upgrading your collection and swapping out cars, you can always relist and sell that car to somebody else who's just starting out, and take that money and apply it to the new one, to your upgrade. So that's super cool. Next up, super van. We're looking at the Herfy's King Radio van. There's one of these mint condition right now for $10,000 listed on eBay. There's one of these mint condition loose for several thousand. It's got the plastic base. This one's fairly clean. I paid $72 for this van. It was listed as black van, and it came from Mexico. So, really good price. Purchased that one. We're going to look at also, this is the two variations of this goes with the Army staff car. These are the two variations of the van that I have that aren't the King Radio. And one of them, this one here with the chipped up paint, actually has the metal base. It's much heavier. And this one here that's super clean has the plastic base. And the windshields look like they're the same. Everything else is the same. It's just the difference in weight and the difference in the base. But I believe they were both available in that same 6-pack or 5-pack. And you could get either or. It just depended on what happened to be in there. Alright, next up, we've got the Cutoff Canyon Super Van. This one here has no chrome left on its wheels. It's a super cool van. Super hard to find. There's another variation with the same paint job. There's a black version, right? And there's, like, I think there's a super chrome silver one. There's a red variation that was one of the speed machines that's also pretty hard to find. This one here I paid $50 for quite a while ago. Didn't ever think I'd own one, and then when I came across it, even for $50, I was like, that's a no-brainer. I'm taking that right now. So I bought it, and I had it in my display, and I thought, wonder if I can get a better variation, better version. Well, I found one that was mint, like mint. But somebody had painted it. Some kid had painted blue over the top of the tampos and over the roof. So I did my best to try to clean the blue paint that they put on it off without wiping off the top of the tampo. I did a little better on this side than I did on this side, but this is just a much cleaner version of this van. And I paid $100 for this van. So that's super cool. I saw there's a couple of these available right now for purchase, but they're up there in the couple $1,000 range. So for $100, perfect for my collection. I've got one. It's super rare. Actually, I have two, and I've got another one that I paid $50 for that is on the way in the mail, but it's been about 300 miles away from me for a week now, so I don't believe it's ever going to show up in time. So I figured I would just go ahead and make the video. I thought it'd be cool to have three different versions of it, or different stages of wear, and I would put them all in the video. I'm going to keep my favorite one, which is going to be that cleanest one. I do kind of like that other one as well, with all the paint chipped off of it. And the other one's about the same condition as that, maybe a little bit rougher, but it has the chrome left on the wheels. This one doesn't have any chrome. So I thought, keep my favorites and list the others. So I was going to put together a small set of Grails, which would have one of the Cutoff Canyon super vans, the blue van with the flames. It'll have one of the mountain mining semi-truck and trailer in it, and put them on, just listed on eBay. And I've got a bonus car that I'm going to put in with it. If anybody watches my video and goes on eBay and purchases it, when you buy it in your contact seller area, if you contact me and let me know that you saw this video on eBay, I am going to throw in a bonus car. Which will be a maxi taxi, Olds 442, that I've had for a while. It's a pretty cool car. These go for about 40 bucks. I upgraded mine. Got a new clean version with no chips. This one here had a few chips, but I paid about 40 bucks for this when I bought it. This one here I paid 65, I think, is what I ended up paying for this one. I did notice the paint on the old one that I have is a little bit darker yellow than the newer paint, but other than that, it's pretty much the only difference. Just a little bit of a variation of the paint tone. So that'll be going in as a bonus car if you message me when you buy the other two. And the last car that we're going to look at is the Hot Wheels Collector 271 Firebird Funny Car, which everybody knows is worth nothing unless it is on the blue blister card. But here it is loose, so you can pick one of these up and you can get this car for about 15 bucks probably. What you need to look for, though, when you buy the car to make sure that you're getting the one that would have been the 271 collector car is the color. Because if you look at the color, let me get in the drawer here. If you look at the color of the Race Team series, you see it's a really dark blue, and the 271 is a much lighter metallic blue. And it's not nearly, like, this is a really fine metallic on the Race Team series, and this is a little bit bigger of a metallic on the Collector 271 car. So you'll find them both loose, and they're both about the same price, but if you want to get just to have one, it's kind of cool, it would have been this lighter colored blue. So if you had this car on the card, I think it goes for about $4,000. I've never seen one on the card for sale anywhere. So I've seen pictures of a few of them, but that's about it. Michael Zarnock had a video where he was talking about them because somebody had sent him one to authenticate that was on a card. And I've seen people put together cards, just reproduction cards of collector number 271, just to do. But if you're deciding you want to build yourself a card for yours, make sure you get the right car that would have been on that card, and that is this lighter blue one. And that would make a really cool display piece. Don't sell them and rip anybody off. That's about it. So I'm going to grab my camera here and come back down to the table. And we're going to look at some of these cars up close. I should have pulled the turntable out. Easy Express, Basic Express, whatever it says. Kind of a cool car. Collector 271. Yeah. That light blue versus that super dark blue. You can definitely tell that there's a difference between those two blues, for sure. The Poison Pinto in red. And green, and a super chrome. Pretty cool set. Let's look at the heavy Chevys. I picked this guy here up, the yellow one, excuse me, for about 75 bucks. And I was happy to have it when I got it. It does have a little STP sticker that somebody put on there. I just left it. It's kind of cool. I like the played with cars. The green one, I didn't figure I would ever own. But I never really looked because I knew how expensive they were. So I thought it was pointless. The Jeffrey truck, I expected these to be a lot more expensive than they actually are. And in better shape, you're going to pay more. But yeah, 50 to 60 bucks, you can find one of these. The tampos kind of wore off on the bottom of this one. It almost looks like hot pink or something. It almost looks like a highlighter right there. Carabo. Another super cool car. Very ugly car. But very iconic. And the doors on the old yellow one here, they open much further. And they're quite a bit looser. I'm almost wondering if whoever had it that cleaned the base, I'm almost wondering if they didn't clean wax the car based off of that, or if that is something from the base. And I'm wondering if when they were cleaning it, if they wiped off some of those tampos, which it's stupid of them to do. But that very well could be the case. Alright, let's take a look at this guy again. I know these cars do not have windshields. They didn't come with glass in them. Man, my hand is shaky. I also don't know if they came with the prop that would have been at the front. There's that 6969. You can see it says Snake there. And let's pull one of these guys open. See how this has the hood prop that sits at the front. Still says Snake right there. And I believe underneath this black plastic, it probably still has the 69 in there. But you'd have to pop that off to see it. So, very cool. Keep your eye out for that. And there is a white 6969 version that doesn't have glass of the Snake too. So maybe it doesn't say 6969 on the base. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing that you need to look for to make sure it's authentic. Otherwise, everybody would just be pulling the glass and the thing out and selling them. So let's move that back. So here is the mountain mining truck in the car, and then there'll be one of these super vans with it. I'm going to put the set. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this van or if it's going to be my other one when it shows up on eBay. But if, like I said, if you mention this video, this will be the bonus car that gets thrown in. I always like the Maxi Taxi. And move that out of the way. A lot of cars here. A lot of cars on the table that I had pulled out. Leftovers from my last video that didn't get put up on the shelf. Let's look at the King Radio van. I love this van. I saw the other version, the 62 KGW van. I saw there's one of those on eBay right now. It's $100. It doesn't have hardly any of its tampo left. You can barely tell that's what it was because you can see the little swoop of the banner. But for $100, I was like, nope, that ain't the one. I did see there was one of the 62 KGW in a package. that was mint. I believe it was, I want to say 1900 for that one, which I thought very seriously about buying or bidding on. But then I also thought very seriously about how hard my wife would beat me, so I did not do that. The Olds 442 staff car, super cool car. I don't mind the cars that are played with and kind of beat up. They have character. Still rolls nice. Still looks good. Still displays good. But there's something to be said for having a just nice, crisp, and clean version of whatever car. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of cool to have one of one. A beat up one and a nice one. Very cool. Very cool indeed. And I did just get a couple other cars in the mail that I had ordered that are these Matchbox Mustangs with the special tires on the back, the racing tires. What are they? The 850 racing? I think that's what those say. $520, $620, whatever they are. I've got a set of those. I've got an old set that I have here that are a little bit beat up. There's some chips in the paint on these ones. They're not bad either, though. I mean, they're still in really good shape. So I'm going to pass those along. And these are going to be my two new ones for the collection. Also, just picked up the Liberty Base playset, which is super cool. And it's brand new, unopened. I popped it open just to see what's all in there and assess whether or not, and it's all inside mint pieces in its little baggies, and all of the accessories for like all of the little pieces, the guns and the stuff that goes up on top, little guns, all that stuff is still on the trees. So all the Christmas trees still need to be popped apart. It's got its instruction book, and it's got all of its little parts and pieces in there, and the helicopters in there. That'll be cool. So it also does have its sticker sheet, brand new, never applied. So I was thinking I would go ahead and put that together and see what that looks like today. So I may make a video of me doing that here just shortly. But for now, I'm going to end this video, drink some more tea, and play a little bit. Put my cars away. So, till next time, peace.